Rain pelted the windows, echoing the tempest that was building within 12-year-old Maya. Her mother had just departed, leaving behind the long-lasting afterglow of her car's tires on the damp asphalt. Maya collapsed onto the ragged couch, a lump in her throat that she knew all too well. Beside her, Grandma Emilia emerged, her silver hair glistening in the faint light of the lamp. Her eyes were the shade of faded denim, and there were a lifetime's worth of stories, some happy, some filled with fret lines. "You get depressed every time it rains, Mija," she remarked, her voice slightly raspy. Rain had become Maya's enemy ever since her parents divorced. It served as a constant reminder of the broken home she now shared with her grandmother. But Grandma Emilia was sunshine personified, having to move in after having a hip replacement. Her days spent gardening had given way to a messy spare room. Her small apartment had become her focus. Now, everything revolved around Maya. Maya wiped away a stray tear and muttered, "It's not just the rain, Grandma. School's a nightmare, everyone whispers about Mom and Dad." "Oh, those whispers in the schoolyard," grinned Grandma, her eyes glittering. "They're just dandelion fluff, floating around with no meaning." She gave Maya's hand a pat. "Remember, strength doesn't come from hiding, but from facing the storm." It appeared as though the storm had followed Maya to school the following day. Jokes about dysfunctional families were hurled like projectiles, and she was left feeling incredibly alone. She was crouched in the library over lunch, preparing to burst into tears once more. Suddenly, a hand reached out and held out a tissue. It was Sarah, the quiet girl from English class. "Those boys are jerks," she said under her breath as she met Maya's wary gaze. "I don't like them either." Maya's features broke into a tentative smile. Sarah turned into an unanticipated sanctuary with her disheveled bun and beat-up footwear. Maya told Grandma about the event at home. Her wrinkly face brightened up with a warm smile. "All right, Mija. Occasionally, a minor tempest brings about unexpected brightness." Weeks stretched into days. Maya confided in Sarah, and their friendship was a source of comfort in the midst of the ongoing conflict. When Maya got home one afternoon, Grandma was pale and holding onto her side. She was overcome with panic. "Grandma." Fear tightening her throat, Maya hurried to her side. Grandma forced a grin despite her anguish. "Mija, only a slight discomfort. Be at ease." Maya, though, was concerned. Frantically, she scanned the internet, piecing together details concerning Grandma's health. The indications suggested that her hip issues would resurface. That evening, Maya shed copious sobs that saturated the pillow as she contemplated losing Grandma as well. Tears gave way to determination the following morning. Maya came up with a scheme. Grandma took an old recipe book from her days running a bakery and spent the day carefully making a batch of her signature cinnamon cookies. The smell of home filled the kitchen, a place she'd seen countless times when Grandma looked after her. Afterwards, Maya gave the cookies to the old couple who lived next door and were well known for their sour disposition. Maya made an agreement. In exchange for a ride to the doctor, she would help with errands. She had a warm grin and a platter of Grandma's magic. Remarkably, the sour neighbor, Mrs. Hernandez, who softened at the sight of the cookies, concurred. For the first time in a long time, Maya felt a wave of confidence. Grandma's grin faltered at the doctors. Fortunately, it wasn't severe. However, traveling about became difficult because Maya was still too young to drive and there was no automobile. Out of nowhere, Sarah's voice could be heard. "Hello, Maya. Can I be of any assistance?" Sarah had offered to help as soon as she learned about Maya's predicament. The two girls took on the role of Grandma's chauffeur, helping her through doctor's appointments and shopping aisles. Though it didn't appear as scary, the rain kept falling at moments. Maya had discovered unexpected sources of strength, including her own resourcefulness, a developing relationship, and, most importantly, her grandmother's love and support. Together, they braved the storms, one batch of cinnamon cookies and one shared transportation at a time as a team. They came to understand that life, like their house, was full of obstacles as well as the wonderful scent of optimism, and that the sun always managed to peek through the clouds.